What's going on, YouTube? It is Sunday, March 10th, 2024. Wow. Put out a community post a few days ago about a video I'm going to do. It's not going to be this video. It's going to take a little bit of time for that one. I have to take some notes. I have to put some images in the video, which I'm going to have to send the video off to a buddy of mine to do, because that's not what I do. I'm a dinosaur, okay, when it comes to that. And I think it got 112 votes last time I looked. 90% of people, 96% of people said they wanted to hear it. So we're going to do that, but that's not going to be this video. This video is going to be about me getting back to basics and remembering why I started a stacking channel in the first place. And that's very simple. I started a stacking channel because I have a love for precious metals, as you may have figured by now. I like to do unboxings for a couple reasons. A, to show people that I'm doing what I'm saying I'm doing, and B, I don't know about y'all, but when I see someone open some metal, sometimes it inspires me to get more metal. And while I'm not a financial advisor and I don't have a crystal ball, none of this is financial advice, it's merely my opinion, I've been getting back to my roots, back to my basics in certain ways, and remembering why I started a stacking channel. You know, I listen to a lot of different types of channels on YouTube. Mostly it's financial channels and stacking channels, and a lot of music. And I've noticed that a lot of the financial channels are making astronomical claims about you know, this asset's going to go this high, this asset's going to go that high, whether it be gold, silver, Bitcoin, stocks, you know, whatever, SHIB, I mean, all kinds of things. And I'm noticing that, sadly, it seems that there are more stacking channels doing that. You know, silver to the stars, gold to the next galaxy, kind of thing. And of course, I'm slightly exaggerating, but not much. And I've been hanging around some Facebook groups, just, you know, something to kill the time, a few minutes here, a few minutes there, in some gold and silver stacking groups. In fact, I put up a community post about that as well. And one of them that I'm in, and a couple people have joined. It's just somewhere to bounce ideas off each other. And I'm realizing that there are a lot of new stackers in there. And that brings me back to why I started the stacking channel. When I started stacking, there were a few channels, but it wasn't a big thing. And now I find that there are a lot of us out there with channels, and it's a great community. It gives us a chance to share and bounce ideas off each other, and I think it's very, very important that we're responsible in what we put out. Because I, as an extremely seasoned stacker, know that silver is not going to triple digits next week. Probably not in my lifetime. I know it's definitely not going to 4 digits in my lifetime. That being said, if I'm a new stacker, I don't know that. Remember that first piece of metal you got? Remember how exciting it was? Remember the luster? I've always said you can oftentimes tell right away if someone's going to be a stacker when you put that first ounce in their hand by how they react. Remember that feeling? I do. And if I'm that person and I don't know any better, and I'm in this new group of you know, stackers, the, you know, what do you want to call it? Maybe the 1 to 3% of the population. It's probably closer to 1%, honestly, that hold physical metal to talk about at any, you know, in any amount. And, you know, I'm not talking, you know, a gold chain that you inherited. I mean, an actual, you know, bullion stacker, or someone who holds many gold chains. That's what I'm talking about. And as those people, you're going to be looked up to. And you never know who's listening to you. I personally don't want to fill people's minds with that. And you know what? If it happens, wonderful. But I don't believe it'll happen. But let's just go with the fact that it's possible. it still doesn't make it probable. And if I if I go around throwing out all these massive numbers for any asset, not just gold, not just silver, not just platinum, but for Bitcoin, for stocks, for whatever, for SHIB, for altcoins, whatever it is, even though it's more likely to happen in those markets, in my opinion. Let's say somebody who doesn't know any better cashes in their IRAs or their 401ks, pays the penalties, and goes all in on that asset that I'm blowing up, and talking about, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. Get in while you can. Let's say that person goes out and sells their house. People have done it, and they go all in. Let's say that person goes out and takes out a personal loan at, 15, 20% interest, whatever. It's been done. I don't want to be a part of why that happens. Now, granted, we all make our own decisions, we all make our own choices, but I think it's really important to stick to the fundamentals and remain grounded, because you never know whose life you're going to influence. I was talking to a gentleman, actually two people, through these different forums or groups, and one of them recognized me in there, and he goes, "Hey man, it's awesome to see you here, blah blah. I don't mean blah 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 to minimize it, but it's awesome to see you here. I recognize you from your channel. I'm one of your subs." I'm like, wow. And he says, and I told him, send me an email, and he did. And then I messed with him. I'm like, hey, that wasn't me. It was a fake Facebook profile. And I was like, just kidding. And but he went on to tell me how I changed his spending habits and I changed his life, and I never knew that until yesterday. Okay, so my point is, it's important that we influence people in the right way. It's important that we take people down a proper path that benefits them, in my opinion. And I don't really want to be lumped in with those who do it any other way. I think it's really important to be 100 with people, 100% of the time. I was talking with another gentleman, and he's getting in from copper. He's going in from copper to silver, which I think is a great move, because in my opinion, copper is something you trade on the paper markets, and or if you have access to cheap or free scrap, scrap it out. Copper is not for stacking, unless you're doing it for fun, or unless you're keeping copper pennies. But to go out and purchase copper bullion doesn't make financial sense if you do it in high amounts. Now, sure, there's going to be a couple pieces of copper that I think are cool that I want to add to the stack, but it is in no way wealth preservation to me, and it is no way any kind of investment in wealth preservation. So he's making that move from copper to silver, which I'm excited for. And we're talking to Messenger, and I asked him, I said, do you know, I said, are you going to buy LCS or online? He goes online. I said, okay, do you know where to go? And he goes, no, not really. So I took the time to explain to him I would not look at these sites, and I gave the list of names that I'm sure you can all figure out where not to buy if you've been doing this any amount of time. And I told him why. I told him what's the prices, and then I gave him a list of places to look at where you can get a much better deal. See, that's what stacking is. Influencing other people in a positive way, helping each other out, being honest with people, telling each other what to really expect. To me, that's the kind of channel I want to be. It's the channel I'm going to remain. It's the way I'm going to strive to continue to move toward. And going back to basics in the stacking. My personal stacking methods. That's important that we do that from time to time too, so we don't stray and start making stacking decisions that don't make financial sense. So back to basics is a good thing to do. That being said, hit me up on Rumble, link in the description below. Drop a comment down there so I know you're there. Hit the follow button over there. Hit the subscribe button here. Not a financial advisor, don't have financial advice. This video is not meant to offend anybody, and I'm not calling anybody out directly. This is a blanketed statement, but I think we can do better. The influence is far more important than the views and the clicks, my friends. That being said, keep stacking.